What's up guys, Alex from FIFA Scouting Tips here, and welcome to Season 1 Episode 5 of Orient Express. We have this match against Morecambe and I'm going to dive straight into it. Now in the last episode I asked you guys about sliders and tactics, formations, that kind of thing. I think I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to change my formation to 4-3-3 with a couple of holding defensive midfielders. That was suggested to me, so I'll give that one a try. I'm also going to have a look at the sliders, which I'll do in a sec. So I think all I'm going to do really is change the pass speed for the CPU, so change that down to 45 and change the pass error up to 55. Only a couple of points. We'll have to see how much of a difference that will make, because I'm not complaining about their shooting or anything like that. It's the amount of passing they do. It just constant passing basically. It's really hard to get the ball back. So hopefully this will make it a little bit less frustrating when we play games. So let's get into this game and see what the difference is. We struck first after just 7 minutes, Schuster cutting inside in the box. His shot was parried and Demetrio on the follow-up was also parried, but he was offside so it wouldn't have counted anyway. Shortly after, Cox had a free kick and he was so unlucky, smacked the underside of the crossbar with the goalkeeper well beaten, and it bounced back off the line. Couldn't make the most of it unfortunately, but the wall was completely beaten as well, so unlucky not to convert that opportunity there. Came in at half-time when it was 0-0. Possession was fairly even. I felt like the formation and the slider tweaks were doing very well. I felt like I was definitely in the game, had lots of chances, 5 shots and 3 on target. So we didn't manage to score, but I was very confident that I'd be able to score in the second half, because I really did feel like I was on top in this first half. And we almost went ahead through Demetrio, his shot just glancing past the post. But it wasn't long before Cox had another chance, and this time he made it count, beating a defender and smashing it into the top corner. A very accomplished individual goal. Completely beat the defenders there. They stood no chance, making up for that earlier miss, and that being his first goal in the league, a very important one for us in this game. Morecambe did have their chances but didn't take the most of them, that one just firing wide. Then there was a moment of madness. No real problem here for the goalkeeper, easily got the ball, but he threw it straight to Cox, and then I almost missed it, almost embarrassed myself there with an open goal. Hit the crossbar again, but this time it went in. Not even sure what the goalkeeper was doing there. There's no pressure on him and he threw it straight to Cox. I almost missed, but luckily I managed to make it a goal. So that was his second goal in the game, doing well for us, causing all sorts of problems, and we kept up the pressure. This time Martin doing well to beat the defenders and Schuster putting it in from an almost impossible angle. A really good finish there. Hit that one first time. It's not easy to score like that, but luckily he is a fantastic player. He's our top scorer now with 5 goals in the league, a very important player for us. Cox had a chance to make up for his earlier miss, and this time he did. Curled it round the wall. The wall didn't even jump, which made it a bit easier, but I'm not going to complain because that was a very nice free kick. Goalkeeper stood no chance, made up for that earlier miss, and that is his third goal, his hat-trick goal in the match to make it 4-0, and that was a very well deserved win. We finished with 11 shots and 8 of them on target. Morecambe only had 3 shots and only 1 on target in the whole game. They really were not in it. That second half was so different to the first because I had so many opportunities, could have even been more than 4. It was a complete domination in terms of that second half. Possession was fairly the same as it was in the first half, but I did feel like I was definitely in that game. In terms of the possession, it didn't feel like it was just pass and I couldn't get into it. Cox with the 9.9 rating, unbelievable rating. I don't know if I've ever seen a rating as high as that. He was on fire, got the hat-trick, easily the man of the match, but we had other good ratings. 8.1, Pritchard got 7.7, Schuster with a 7.8 and Demetrio with a 7.3. All round some very impressive performances and a fantastic result to win that one 4-0. Well, that seemed to be much better. I really did notice a difference with the passing speed of the opposition. It seemed to be a lot less snappy than it is normally. I think it was a little bit too slow perhaps, so I might just bump it up a couple of points, just to 47 I think. We'll see what it's like going forward because it does seem to make a very big difference, just tweaking very slightly. We'll keep the pass error the same. They didn't make a huge amount of mistakes, even though I did up that. They still had, I think it was 88% pass accuracy, so we'll keep that the same, just bump the pass speed up a little bit, and hopefully that'll be a good balance. I also think the formation worked very well. It felt a lot more secure with 3 central midfielders to back me up there, so I'll try that a bit more going forward and see if that makes a difference with the kind of results we get and the amount of possession we can get as well. So I asked you guys about players in my youth academy, players I should get rid of and keep and promote, all that kind of thing. I have to give a big shout out to Harry Easton on the FIFA Scouting Tips Facebook page, because he took a look at a couple of players, in particular Tom Stevens. This guy rated 46 but with very high potential. He put his stats through I think it was Foothead, through that sort of stat calculator, and worked out what was his best position, and basically found out that if you put Tom Stevens as a striker, he basically goes up about 10 points. He's rated 46 here, but if you put him as striker, he goes to 56. And with good pace like that, that could be quite useful. So there's no need to give up on this guy yet. He's got very, very high potential, so he's worth keeping hold of. And Harry also had a look at this guy here, Frank Boyle, and found that this guy was even more dramatic because he's got even higher potential, but he's rated 45, but still has some pretty decent stats. And basically, it turns out that if you put him on right midfield or left midfield, or as an attacking midfielder, his overall goes up from 45 to around about 57, 58, that sort of thing. Massive increase, so he's hugely mispositioned. Just put him further forward on the pitch, get that half decent pace, the crossing, passing, get that into play, and he's a much more effective player. So we will be keeping these players because they have very, very high potential, so they're definitely worth keeping, and we'll have to see how they do. Also been thinking about this guy here, Ryan Horgan. Now, if you saw the recent Scouting Gold contest, you'll see that the player who won it, basically his potential range was 94 to 79, and that's because the guy who entered it basically just spammed the training and got him to massively exceed his potential. So originally it was 73 to 79, but he said he started with a 15-year-old who had an overall around 61, I think it was. So I'm thinking this guy here is very similar to that. So I might try just training this guy maybe 2 slots a week, because that's the max you can give to goalkeepers. Do him 2 slots a week, see how much he grows, and see if we can get him to exceed his potential and become a real superstar. Because the thing with goalkeepers is you can't really overtrain them, because obviously their physical stats aren't too important, so it doesn't matter if that gets stunted. You just want their goalkeeper stats to go up. So I think we'll try that with this guy here, Ryan Horgan, and I might try it with my other goalkeeper as well, who I've already promoted, and we'll see if we can get some good growth for both of those. Right then, this is who I'm going to train this week. Both goalkeepers getting 2 slots, and then O'Halloran getting a gold one as well. So hopefully, like I said earlier, that goalkeeper growth will come into play, and we got some very good results there. Taylor getting 2 A's, which is amazing. Halloran only got a C, but he's gone up a level, and Horgan got 2 B's. So that's actually a very, very good week for training. Long may it continue. Okay, getting straight into another game, this one against Barnett. More or less the same team as last time because it worked really well. Obviously Cox is staying on because he was fantastic. Changed a couple of players around, but hopefully we'll get another good result. Cox is in superb form after the last game, and he almost scored the goal of the season, smashing it off the crossbar, and Schuster couldn't put in the rebound, but what a goal that would have been if it hadn't hit the crossbar and had gone in. We made amends though. Schuster on the counter-attack, using his pace, no one was going to catch him with how quick he is, and he hit it into the far side of the goal. Goalkeeper stood no chance with shooting like that. Really, really doing well. This came from their attack, and we hit them on the counter-attack and made them pay. Schuster now up to 6 goals in the league, doing really, really well for us, and he made it 2 shortly after, turning inside the defender and hitting it home, really making it look easy there. The goalkeeper should have done a lot better though. It was pretty much straight at him, but it doesn't matter because I was going to take that goal. Up to 2-0 now. Schuster on 7 goals, top of the league in terms of goals that he's scored so far. Came in at halftime and I was being absolutely dominated in terms of possession, only had 37%, but in that I managed to get 6 shots and 5 of them on target, and for all that possession Barnett only had 1 shot on target in the entire half. So I was doing well with what little possession I'd managed to get, but I really was not getting much of it. Second half was very different though. They came out, almost made it 2-1, a really good long shot just whistling past the post. I did have my chances though, a fantastic save from their goalkeeper through a crowd of players to keep it at 2-0, but then I let in a really soft goal, didn't even challenge for their header, a really easy goal for them. Very disappointed in myself for letting that one in, and they were back in the game, and they almost made it 2-2, but a superb stop from Taylor from a corner kept it at 2-1 and the 82nd minute. A fantastic save that was, and we managed to hold on. I ended up with even less possession than I had in the first half. I ended up with 35%, 8 shots and 6 of them on target. Barnett really got into the game in the second half. They had 6 shots and 4 of them on target, but they couldn't do enough to get a draw. I managed to cling on for the 2-1 victory despite my lack of possession. Did well with the chances I had, and like I said, managed to hold on. Schuster with the 8.3 rating for his 2 goals. Had some other half decent ratings, Demetrio with a 7.0 and Taylor with a 7.2. So half decent performances, but really it was all about Schuster getting us those 2 vital goals for the 2-1 victory. Okay, let's dive straight into some training. I think we're going to keep it the same as last time, those 2 goalkeepers and O'Halloran, just to try and give them a bit of a quick boost, and we'll see how they grow. That looks pretty good. Taylor grows despite getting an F and a D. Horgan grows, he got a B and a C. In fact, he grew a couple of points. That's really impressive. and O'Halloran got a C. Didn't grow too much, but those two goalkeepers did really well. Looks like we can get some fantastic growth out of them if we keep training them hard, but do let me know if you want other players to get trained as well, because obviously this only leaves one slot for an outfield player. Okay, because we've been doing a load of training sessions and there haven't been any scouting reports yet, we're going to have a third match, just get that into the episode. This one against Northampton. We've done really well the last couple of games, got 2 wins on the spin, so let's see if we can make it a third. First half was really boring, unfortunately. Practically nothing happened. This was about as good as it got. Rebound, and I missed the ball. And yeah, that was about it. Pretty dull first half, unfortunately. I had 7 shots and 4 of them on target, but don't be fooled by that. They basically all just trickled through to the goalkeeper. They weren't really proper shots, and I only had 35% of the possession, completely dominated. Northampton were all over me, but despite that, they just would not shoot. This is the problem with FIFA. They can dominate in possession, but they just will not shoot on goal. They had 1 shot, and it wasn't even on target. So it was a very strange half. Nothing really happened at all. Second half was quite different though. An amazing ball from Dimitriou. Played Cox through on goal, but a really good save from their goalkeeper kept it at 0-0. They had their chances. This shot out of nowhere brought out a very good save from our own goalkeeper to keep the scores level, but we finally broke the deadlock in stoppage time. Schuster, who else, turned the defender and smashed it past the goalkeeper. What a time to score that was in injury time. We rely on this guy a lot and he comes through for us with a really good goal late on to assure the victory. That is his 8th goal in the league. He's really running away with it now, scoring so many goals. They basically took the kick off and then the ref blew the whistle. That was almost the last kick of the game, so a really good time to score. We finished it with 9 shots and 5 of them on target, but again only 39% of the possession, completely dominated once again in possession. Northampton had a few more shots on target this time and a few more shots in total. They got a bit more into the game and it kind of felt like it was quite a fair result, I guess. It was quite a fun game despite it being very difficult. They didn't really create too many chances, but they dominated possession. I really had to struggle and work hard to get a goal. Dimitriou got the man of the match with an 8.0 rating. Schuster got a 7.5, did well as well. Dimitriou really doing well there, running the show in midfield. So it was a really good smash and grab result. At the end of the day, a 1-0 victory. I will happily take that. Okay, next training session, and I have swapped out O'Halloran with Schuster, giving him a chance creation drill. Goalkeeper's the same because they've been going really well and getting lots and lots of growth, so let's see if we can keep that going, get some more points. So Schuster gets an F, that was pretty bad. Horgan does really well, gets a B and a C. Taylor gets 2 Ds, not great, so a bit of a mixed bag with that one. Okay, it's the first of the month and that means it's time to have a look at how our scouted players are growing, and up first we have Danny Taylor on 65 plus 7. We are in October, we've barely started the season pretty much and already he's gone up 7 points. Imagine how much he can grow in just 1 season at this rate. He's got his positioning and reflexes have gone up 14 points each. That is some fantastic growth he's had there. Then up next we have Lucas Gunduz, the right back that we've got in on loan. He's gone up to 65 plus 1. Then Nicholas Viatri, another player in on loan, he's on 64 plus 1. Then we have Scott O'Halloran on 61 plus 3. Had some decent growth there, becoming quite a decent player for us now. Then Loris Dimitriou, got him in on loan. Really like this player. I think he's really useful in the centre midfield. Has lots of energy, gets about a lot, makes lots of tackles and puts in good passes. So seems like a very good player, and he's up to 66 plus 2. Then Andrea Brasson hasn't grown any overall points yet, but his stats have grown quite nicely, so hopefully that will change soon. Then we have Mark Stokes on 56 plus 1. Then Stephen Martin on 53 plus 2. I've been using him as an attacking midfielder or a central midfielder recently. Put him in attacking midfield in the last game, and I feel like he's done okay. He's actually quite useful in there, seems to be alright. Probably better than he would be on the wing anyway. So might keep using him in that position from now on. Then we have Melvin Schuster on 67 plus 2. Some half decent growth there, lots of plus 2s, and his positioning has gone up 6 points as well. He's now got 8 goals in 14 appearances, including 8 in 8 appearances in the league. Doing really well for us here, playing really well. Then we have Paul Spark on 60 plus 2, now up to 85 acceleration. Really useful to have that when going forward. So that is how our scouted players are growing this season so far. So we've also got a load of scouting reports, and up first we have Micheleni in Spain, and we have Benjamin Luna, 52 to 72 potential, definitely not good enough. Miguel Varela, 55 to 77, again not good enough. Roberto Aguado, 70 to 94 potential. I've got a bad feeling that this is a mispositioned player because his overall is only 34 to 44, so it's going to be pretty awful to be honest. But he's got high potential, so I think we'll leave him for 1 month because it's a bit of a risk taking on a player like that. Let me know in the comments if you reckon I should take him on and just train the hell out of him or something. Let's just see what happens. So tell me your thoughts in the comments and we'll decide what to do next time. And then we have Solomon Bustos, 64 to 88 potential. Probably not going to be good enough, but there's no harm in leaving him for one more month just to see how he does next time round. So that's that report. Then we have Lobo, and he is in Italy. Giacomo Morone, 49 to 69, definitely not good enough. And then Luigi Perico, 50 to 68, again not good enough. That was not a very good report. And finally we have Swan in Germany. Felix Schauner, 56 to 76, not very good. And then Timo, I'm not even sure how you say that, Niederlechner, 56 to 78, once again not really very good. So just a couple of players in Spain to look at next time. And speaking of scouted players, this is how our academy is looking at the moment. We have Ben Creevy. Pretty sure I'm going to get rid of this guy, 53 rated at 18 years old. Not really very good, is he? I did try changing, inputting his stats onto Foothead, and he didn't really improve if you moved him around. So I think I will let him go. If you think there's any reason to keep hold of him, maybe his potential, I don't know. Let me know in the comments and we'll see. Then we have Frank Boyle, that guy who goes up 10 or 12 points or so if you move him forward into attacking midfield, so definitely going to keep hold of him. Then Kevin McKenzie, 56 overall, alright player I guess, not particularly amazing. Again, may let this guy go. Do let me know in the comments if you think I should. Then we have Moritz Weitzner, definitely not letting this guy go, 85 to 94 potential, by far my highest potential player so far that I've got in the academy at the moment. 58 rated at 15 years old is a really high rating, got some decent stats in there. All round he's looking okay, his dribbling is about as good as his tackling, so he could be quite a flexible player, and he's currently a centre back, but we could play him elsewhere perhaps. Then Ryan Horgan, that goalkeeper I was talking about, perhaps training up. He's up to 60 overall at 15 years old, so I'm very, very confident that he can go over his potential if we train him enough. He's been growing very quickly so far. Then Stephen Laird, 53 at 18 years old. Another player really I think I might get rid of. Got half decent potential. Some of his stats are looking okay. Once again, let me know if you think I should get rid of him or keep him. And then finally Tom Stevens on 47, but remember, if we move him to striker, he goes up about 10 points. He's much better there. His finishing is one of his best technical stats, and he's got quite good pace as well, so be useful up front. So definitely holding on to that guy as well. So like I said, if there's any players you think I should release or maybe even promote, let me know in the comments. So here's how the table is looking after 9 games. We are sitting pretty at the top of the league on 24 points, 2 clear of Crew Alexandra. So we're doing really well, got 8 wins and only 1 loss so far. Goal difference of plus 11, best in the league so far. So we're doing very well, and our objective is, I think, to win the league. So as long as we keep doing this, we'll meet that objective and get promoted. So we have this match against Mansfield up next, but I am going to leave it there because I've run out of time. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have, make sure you leave a like. Just spotted there in the bottom right corner that Schuster is top goal scorer in the league with his 8 goals, so he's doing really well. So yeah, if you've got any ideas for what to do on this series so far, any players you want me to release, any tweaks to the sliders, anything like that, leave all your comments below. I do try and read them all and put them into action if I can. Any other suggestions for the rest of my YouTube channel as well, and my website FIFAscoutingtips.com, keep all those coming as well. Don't forget the Scouting Gold contest this month is on the highest overall strikers aged 18 or under. You can train the players if you want to, because basically it's been quite difficult thinking up categories and criteria for these Scouting Gold contests, because I tried strength last time and hardly anyone entered because I think it's just too difficult. So I am allowing training on this one, but if you've got any ideas for what to do next month, let me know that. But for now, it's on the highest overall strikers aged 18 or under. So if you found a really good player that matches that description, make sure you take a picture and send that to @FIFA on Twitter using the hashtag ScoutingGod, or you can send it to facebook.com/FIFA or send it to FIFAscoutingtips.com on one of the articles, or leave a link to the image in the comments below. Either way you want to do that, there's plenty of time left on that. It ends at the end of December, so make sure you get a really good entry for that. Like I said, keep all your feedback coming. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. He's got 84 potential, remember, so he's only a couple of points off that, and he's still pretty young. His physical stats are all just absolutely incredible, even better than they were before. He's now got 92 acceleration, 97 sprint speed, and 87 strength.